So he moves back to Sydney. I'd just been born, and so this is 1963, and he started as an international hotel consultant, which he did for a few years until he said he woke up and didn't know where he was. So he was doing so much travelling. Mm-hmm. He had a panic attack, came back to Sydney, and started doing some consulting for Lend-Lease.
Right.
And his first project for them was to design the hospitality of their first shopping centre, which was Bankstown Square. And so he designed the first food court in Australia.
Wow.
All of those things were going on, and meanwhile he did do Travelodge with a colleague of his, and he did then do the consulting for Lend-Lease, who were opening Australia Square in 1968. And this is still in 67. They held a tender for the restaurant he did the food court at the bottom. They held a tender for the restaurant, but they couldn't find anybody that they thought was good enough to do it. And at that stage, rooftop revolving restaurants around the world were disastrously unpopular and unprofitable. So Lend-Lease came to him at the end, and they decided to do it as a partnership, and he opened the Summit. The Summit opened with an a la carte menu only, but such were the queues that he quickly put a buffet in to try and cope with the numbers. At the end of the first 5 years of the lease, Lend-Lease told him that they wanted to buy him out. What they didn't realise is that my father had put a Russian roulette clause in, and what happens with the Russian roulette clause in is that if the purchaser doesn't purchase within 30 days, you can buy them out for the same price. Mm-hmm. So after 30 days, Lend-Lease couldn't get it together, basically, and Dad was very upset because they wouldn't let him buy a decent company car, and they were treating him like an employee, and it wasn't the same problem as he had with the people at Federal.
Yeah.
And so he bought them out and started on his pursuit of an ever-increasing number of restaurants, which I think at its peak was about 12 or 13, including Brisbane. And probably the story from there you guys know pretty well. But he was an entrepreneur and sold his company to Accor about 1994.
So his story really is such an inspiration to young potential applicants to this scholarship as well, Stephen, isn't it?
The whole idea of the scholarship is, he was very careful to point out to me that it's not about the winner, it's about the aspirations of those who aim to improve themselves by going for it.
Absolutely, and to inspire all of them. Yeah, that's a fabulous summary of your father's career.